What are you barking at? Hey, good Tuesday morning. And welcome to Ice Age TV. Wow, it is actually pretty warm per se. Today's going to be the high 50s. So this is the time of the year where it's a hit or miss of how you dress. Because if you don't dress appropriately, you freeze your ass off. Or you dress too much and you're too hot. Hey, come on, pups. They see the geese. Hey, babies, you hungry? Come on. So they get the geese now showing up in the pond. And the puppies just don't understand them. Let's go, come on. So anyways, yeah, it's time of year where it's a hit or miss if you dress appropriately. And until what happens is you don't, and you freeze your ass off most of the day. Hey, the wife's gone as usual. Back to routine, everybody. Back to normalcy. Is it? I think not. Are we living in crazy times? Are we living in crazy times? I think we are, actually. Incredible. All right, got to get in here to see the dog. Yeah, got to get in without showing you guys how to get my house. Come on, don't do that. No, let's sit down. You screwed everything up. Anyway, here everybody is. I bought a new rug for the entrance. How about that, huh? Come on, let's get in here, everybody. You're all wild. Come on. Let's go. Hey, you guys are noisy. You're so noisy. Come on, pups. Come on, let's get out of here. Come on. Get out to yonder. Go on, pups. Go on. Come on, mosey on out there, Diesel boy. Do we have them all? Even for me, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah. That's hard evenly. Yeah, we got them all. Come on, pups, go. Come on. Let's get over to the barn. Get the morning going here on the Tuesday morning as the springtime is here, everybody. It really is on our doorstep. The change of season and the clock springs forward. Wow. To me, it's like, oh man, what a bummer. You just kind of get so in tune with your sleeping habits, only to be ruined this come Sunday, because right now, it'd be an hour later already. So with all those have to get up really early. That is more challenging. Come on, let's go. Come on, pups, hungry? Come on, let's go. Hey, don't you guys know the routine? Tell you what, I had to pull the four-wheeler out from the camper and my Talon and Pioneer because the birds are now crapping all over the damn trailer. That tree gives them the potty tree. Come on, puppies. Come on, let's go. Come on. Prince, Gypsy. They're just goofballs, aren't they? So, yeah, the birds are right around the corner from coming into the barn, moving in, and then making my barn their shithole. I mean, just incredible. How fast time goes by in life. Isn't it just something, man? I tell you, just time ticks away. All right, let's get the dogs their food. Come on, puppies. That's the other big dogs upstairs. Come on, Will. So, I had myself some new cups yesterday at Sam's Club. You know, I go through these Yeti. We have so many Yeti containers that it gets overwhelming on the fact that they just start accumulating out here. And I can think, you know what? I'm so sick of having to take all these Yetis into the house. Come on. Where is Ginger? Ginger! Come on. So Ginger's the last one to the pack. But I get so sick and tired of all these damn Yetis just accumulating in my office. Oh, that's so funny. So I left the food down last night, which I really don't want to leave food exposed out here because then it attracts the varmints. And I'm out of food just about. I bought 2 bags of food a week ago. And here we are. I'm going to go to Costco today and buy 2 more bags. So I'm definitely going through 70 pounds of dog food a week. All right, here we go. Come on. Where's Ginger? Don't need her involved because she'll get an attitude. So, here you go, pups. Come on. Let's get all the bowls fed up. I think Ginger's coming right now. I think I just saw her walk in. Come on, Ginger. Come on, baby. Ginger. Who is it? Come on. Hey, Prince. No. Come on back. Come on, buddy. Come here. Oh, there she is. Come on, Prince. I don't know what Prince is doing. All right, so let's get the Ginger baby up because she knows that to get into a confrontation. Oh, and Prince is going to do his own thing and kind of just wander off. Now, you guys have got 4 bowls right now where you can all do your own thing. have your own peace and quiet. But good old Rebel playing Mr. I'm going to be hogging. I think he's so confused that he hogs other people's food, but yet he doesn't even eat all his own food. So that's what's really interesting here with him. He's kind of funny about that, is he goes from bowl to bowl, but then yet you actually even eat. Or you just boss him. We're going, hey, Prince! So good old Prince is going to be the troublemaker for the morning. On me, trying to make a video, and then having to chase him. He's in the bathroom. Good boy. Come on, puppies. Good boy, Princey. Good boy. Yeah, he's doing business out there better than doing it here, which they definitely have to calm that down. Come on, don't do that, Rebel. Come on, Prince. Prince, looky here. Prince, looky here. Treaty. Come here, Princey. Treat, come here. Chicka, 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 chicka. Come here, boy. I make a little noise, and they think it's the bag shaking, so he's funny, isn't he? He's going to be a big boy, big, full, big, furry boy. Aw, you little stinker. Because, the daughter's favorite is little Princey boy, just for the record. She likes them all, but that's her little lover boy. All right, got that. Now, where do you start? Where do you start another morning conversation? I mean, sincerely. Where do you start? Even though, if you watched my channel yesterday, I got my Seresto flea collar things in. I did a little video on that. Those things are so cool. You don't have to use any type of medicine, like an ointment or a pill. And these collars really do seem to work, and they are really highly recommended. And it saves me a lot of money. I was still $450 for 8 collars, but that's 8 months. But then I went up to Sam's Club, and I've made my tool chest into my my microwave oven area, my little food area. I'm using my little my toolbox as my bread drawer. What else do I got in here? Oh, my plates. I mean, I've turned in my work area into my feeding area, which is pretty cool now, because I've been out here in the garage so many times where all I want is a hot dog or reheat some pizza up or whatever it may be, and I got to go into the house. That reminds me. So I got myself my breakfast sandwiches in the refrigerator yesterday. I took the time. I tell this all the time. I'm going to jinx myself. This refrigerator, I think I bought this like in 1998, I think, or something like that. And so yesterday I took the time to really clean it out, get it to look all nice and fresh and new, because we had Pepsi. We had a case of Pepsi cans in here one winter, and they blew up. And so the whole refrigerator turned into just disgusting looking. But now I got my hot dogs out here, and I got my pizzas and my birthday cake. It's incredible. My wife bought me this birthday cake from Baskin Robbins. $40. Look at that. $40 for a Baskin Robbins birthday cake. Wow. But I got my sweet maple griddle cake sausage, Jimmy Dean. If I want to throw that in my microwave, now I can. So now, kind of got my whole setup. Hey, good news. The Harley-Davidson CVO 21. Got a guy that's going to buy it. It's taken me forever. He's getting a hell of a deal. I mean, I feel bad in some ways, because last year, so many people lowballed me on that bike, but the payoff didn't justify me selling it, because I wasn't going to write a check to get rid of it. So finally, a guy, he did, for the most part, lowball it, but you know what? I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I'm sick of it. Big mistake buying that bike. Huge mistake. And so the good news is, I got a guy here local that literally is planning to come by here in the next day or two, and he's serious. I mean, he's already going to the credit union, he's getting the money, and he wants the registration, wants a bill of sale. So this is real deal. He wants to inspect it, but it's finally going bye-bye. Thank God. What a joke. When you buy something, anybody, it's yours for life, basically. But now, I've had this Bronco rear drawer on Marketplace for a while. I've only had 2 bites. One guy was wanting it, but then he pulled back because he wanted to put his dog crate on top of it, and he didn't think it'd be big enough to accommodate his dog crate. And then I had another person who reached out this morning, and they have a 2-door Bronco. It won't fit a 2-door Bronco. It's only a 4-door Bronco. The back area is not big enough. But I'm starting to get some bites. I had some bites on my cheap bobber, but very low ball. But man, if I could sell 2, 3, 4 motorcycles, I'd be really happy. Really would. And so we'll see how that kind of plays out. But the good news is Harley Davidson's going to find a new home, and that's a blessing, and that helps out my finances. Just little by little, just, niching away, trying to get things back in order in my life of the craziness that I got myself into. And as you know, even people have said it in my channel from years ago, it's so easy to get yourself into trouble, but it's so hard to get yourself out of trouble. and that's the truth. But yet that's our country. And that's what I say. What do I talk about? I mean, today is the State of the Union address with Donald Trump. And there's that guy Jeffries, the new Democratic Party House guy, whatever his position is, that replaced Nancy Pelosi. Does he do the tear up the State of the Union? Do you remember that? You remember when Nancy Pelosi, does everyone remember when Donald Trump, in his last term, did his State of the Union, and after his State of the Union address, Nancy Pelosi, to the general public, takes the pages that he just had read off of, and they had read off of, and she tears it in half. It's just so disrespectful. How do these figure? Well, I tell you all the time, everybody, you want Nancy Pelosi, you want the nasty-ass politicians, because if you want to get things done, you vote in the nastiest-ass people you can, because they'll do anything at great extremes to get them what they want, and maybe you too. They probably won't get you what you want. They'll portray that to you, but in the end, nah, not so much. I was thinking to myself yesterday, what happened to BLM? I mean, surely, I'm not here trying to be racist by any means, but it's so interesting. Once the Democratic Party came into play, it's like the BLM totally disappeared. It just sincerely, did all the unfairness to the black people go away? I mean, under Joe Biden's policies, under his term, I'm just asking, not wanting to create conflict. I'm not a racist person. I really am not. I love everybody of color and personality. It's where we kind of come to the difference in what you think's right versus wrong. But here's the question. I'm sincere. I never remember seeing any more Black Lives Matter protests ever being, again, per se, once Donald Trump came into office. And even to the point that the White House wants to remove the Black Lives Matter yellow big painting on the street down there in D.C., that they want to take that off the streets, get it removed. But I'm just curious, does anybody know what happened to Black Lives Matter? Under Joe Biden's administration, apparently there were no more targeted people through the police enforcement, because we all know that defund the police was all about the police were not nice, and they did bad things, and people wanted to get rid of the police because they were doing bad things to the black community. And so I'm just curious. So I guess then everything got cleaned up, and that there wasn't any more discrimination. So under Joe Biden's tenure, it just seems like, I guess, everything, went beautiful, right? I'm just curious. Not wanting to argue. I'm asking a question just in general. Just for myself. I'm not the smartest guy of the bunch here, everybody. I'm not trying to portray that on my channel by any means. And what's really interesting here is when you see Elon Musk expose so much stuff. I mean, is the exposure, is it all about the exposed? You've been exposed? I mean, on social media, they'll be like, you've been exposed. That's like the term that we're going to come really make our life a little bit more difficult, because we're going to share with everybody all the dirty laundry of who you are, what you do, and all the devious things and all the bad things you did, or maybe all the good things. I don't know. I mean, it could go both ways, in life. There are the good and the bad. I mean, it does go both ways. But with Elon Musk, it is interesting to see how he's exposing so many people. Per se. I met with my banker yesterday, and I was talking to my banker, and I asked him, I said, what do you think? And he's a very astute, he's a very level-headed guy, and he's actually Middle Eastern. And he said, I don't know. He said, I don't know. It's like, we don't know yet. He's like, I can't say. He's like, it's like, we have to wait and see. He's not taking positions, the good or the bad. He's just like, you know what? It's time's going to tell whether, this Joe Biden, whether this Donald Trump's new policies are going to play to the favor of American citizens and the country, or is it not going to be? So he just kind of is like neutral. I don't know. And he's he's not one of these guys that's radical left or right. He's more kind of the middle of the road that tries to evaluate what he thinks makes sense. And so that's what I have to say. For Donald Trump, they're saying he has 5 key speaking points tonight of what he's going to hammer on what he's doing and what he's doing for the country and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So it's a 9 p.m. Eastern time. No, hey, get out. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on back there, buddy? Yeah, he's giving the Kiefer look. Gail sent me a picture. I think it was Rebel that just happened to be up on the she like snapshot a picture in the video where Rebel was up here on top of this, kind of like meeting Kiefer with that type of look right there. I think that was Rebel. I don't think that was Diesel. I think Diesel has more of the similarities of the looks to Kiefer, because I call him Kiefer all the time. But anyway, so Donald Trump, his 9 p.m. Eastern time, I guess it's, Eastern time, State of Union address, where the Congress and Senate will meet down their Capitol, and then Donald Trump will do his thing of talking and telling people the way it is, and he claims it's going to be big and blah, 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 whatever. That's always Donald Trump's goal. It's going to be big, baby. It's going to be big. So that'd be interesting to watch that tonight if you don't fall asleep. Because some people get sleepy after 9 o'clock, you know what I mean with that. You know, as you get older in life, at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock time frame, not me. I mean, I'm not in bed at 9 o'clock. I don't usually fall asleep till, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Then I wake up throughout the night, then I read articles and read information and try to bring content to you. That's what I do on a regular basis to try to keep my channel alive and keep it going. And so it's interesting when I'm on the X Factor. I go to the Wall Street Journal, a lot of good articles there, and it is talking about this 25% tariff that has taken, it's in place. And you really have to say, I mean, can we sustain even more expensive stuff? I mean, to me, being the person that questions others' authority, right? Yeah. So for me, I just can't see it. I just can't see how this country continues to sustain higher priced goods and services and energy. But even though the barrel of oil is down now to $67 a barrel, even though now the stock market is starting to go south, so under Donald Trump's tenure in this very short time frame, you have to say a 25% strike against Canada and Mexico, and that he's going to go 20% against China. And the retaliation already of Canada and China is through the roof. Mexico is still deliberating if he's really going to do this to them and not be nicer to them. So if the 25% tariff really does take effect and our country doesn't back down and it's full effect and it's in for Trump's tenure, you just have to say, everybody, does the country just start to deteriorate right in front of your eyes? Or people are like, I'm just done. I can't continue to afford the expenses of this country. And now even more so because so many things are imported from other countries that we rely on for so many aspects of everything around us. Everything. I mean, auto executives are begging Trump not to do this. They're saying this is going to really put a hardship on their industry. So it is very interesting. Look at good old Gypsy playing the ball, shows that ball. Hey, so far this has lasted, even though I hear him getting into something. You hear that? They're already into something. They always got to find something to go tear apart, start a mission. So what do they have? They got a water bottle, so I'm not really too worried about that. So right here's the ball. It's funny. So Gypsy is having fun. Oh no, now Rebel's got it. Secure the ball. So for anybody out there watching my channel, I mean, do you really feel if Trump doesn't back down on the 25% tariff, do you really feel good that our country's now? I mean, the good news is it's going to bring in a lot of tax monies to the country, but where are they going to be allocated? That's scary to think about. As Elon Musk is diligently trying to expose how bad the tax monies are used in our country, and not to our favor, to our disfavor, and even to the point that how is that all playing out? I mean, sincerely, you're already up in New York. There's people videoing up there in New York and how all the illegals are still living in the high-rise hotels. So they haven't been kicked out. And somehow New York's still finagling monies to keep on paying the hotel owners. Or they're telling the hotel owners, give us 30-day invoice, for us to pay or something. I mean, who knows what's really going on up there. But the point is that nothing's changed up there under the Doge exposures of the corruption of our country, of what's doing with the monies. So once again, do you really feel like we can absorb this very strict, very hard line that Trump is going into to right our country, to be more about our country than other people's countries. And the goal is to bring back more work for our country, more manufacturing for our country. But the thing is, it's not going to happen overnight. So, the pain and suffering, anytime you're on a venture, you start a new business, you start a relationship, you raise dogs, you get into a weightlifting routine, exercise routine, you go off to college, whatever it may be. You're always have to endure the initial stages of the pain factor to create whatever you're trying to create or become. And so initial stages, you're not really being rewarded for your hard efforts. So you'd have to say the same way, our country will be in the same ballgame. We're going to have to go through pain and hardships in order for this really to play out, if it really plays out in the long run. But Trump's only in there for a little over 3 years. And then does it really even play out? I mean, does it really? And then if the Republican Party doesn't keep the powers, then all this stuff gets reversed instantly. So meanwhile, under Trump, does the stock market go from a 40K Dow to a 20K Dow? I mean, wow. You know how many people are going to be pissed as hell that all of these retirements, let's see the retirements reverse back to the pandemic, sincerely, is Trump getting ready, or is it going to be such the opposite, and I'm just a fool, an idiot, that all these hardships on other countries is going to create more opportunity than ever in our lifetime in our own country, and people are going to be, making tons of money, and I got pea brain, and I just can't see the light. I don't know. I mean, sincerely, on that, I just can't. It's. I would be the first to raise my hand. Yeah, I'm probably a pea brain. I don't get it. But here's what's interesting with Elon Musk. He likes to bring up stuff and share with people what everybody forgets. And we do forget. In life, we forget all the time of what's going on around us. So this was a very good, interesting article that he brought up. Did you know that we had a coup, that we overthrew the Ukraine government in 2014 under Barack Obama's tenure? Did you know that? I kind of forgot about that, and I really wasn't into this so much social media, the politics. I just wasn't into it as much per se at that time. But Elon Musk, he's now sharing that this guy Chris Murphy bragged about the United States back in 2014. Bragged that the United States successfully overthrew Ukraine's government. Did you know that? Did you actually know that this guy, Chris Murphy, a senator out of Connecticut, I believe, I think it was our role, including sanctions and threats of sanctions, that forced in part Yanukovych from office. We have not sat on the sidelines. We have been very much involved. Members of the Senate have been there. Members of the State Department have been on the square. The Obama administration passed sanctions. The Senate was prepared to pass on its own sanctions. And as I've said, I think that the clear position of the United States has, in part, been what has helped lead to this change regime. If ultimately this is peaceful transition to a new government in Ukraine, it will be the U.S. in the streets of Ukraine who will be seen as a great friend in helping make that transition happen. Wow. Did you know that? This guy's still around, just so you know. This guy, Chris Murphy, this guy's still around. But wow. It's always intriguing. It's intriguing to me that Hunter Biden was over there in business in Ukraine. And that there was always the conversation that Donald Trump brought up for his reelection time. They brought up that Joe Biden had used his vice presidency to maneuver one of the key person in Ukraine to give favoritism to his son. And if he didn't, he was going to do hardships to this individual. And so apparently there was a phone call on that. And apparently, I think that Trump called Zelensky, I think, and asked, what's going on with this President Joe Biden, who now wants to run for presidency for 2019-2020 election. And does this guy have something to, corruption in your country? And the Democratic Party flipped that whole thing and then went after Donald Trump for meddling in elections to try to tamper and put harm to Joe Biden to run as a president from bringing false accusations against him. Do you remember that? And then Donald Trump was hauled into court. Does everyone remember that? I mean, most people probably don't remember it. Some do. But so for Donald Trump, this Ukraine has been a thorn in his ass from day one. And it's beyond believable that here he is in his second term presidency. And what's the biggest, most talked about thing as of right now besides Zelensky in Ukraine? Nothing. It's Zelensky in Ukraine. That Donald Trump is trying to been saying for years is a corrupt country. I mean, oh my gosh, everybody, it's unbelievable. And though, so and I've talked about that a lot lately, and I'm not really talking anymore about that. So we're gonna move on to that. But here's the next thing. It's very interesting, me being a business owner. As a business owner, I have to file annual reports with my state and government to be in business. And I have multiple companies in my name. And it's so intriguing that here, back in December, I got this email about a BOI. And I'm thinking, what the hell is BOI? So I'm getting these threatening emails that if I don't go on to the federal government's website and I don't register under a BOI, even though I already have federal ID numbers, state license numbers, blah, 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 blah. But now I'm like, why do I have to get yet another federal oversight of my business? And so BOI, I've never even heard of this. And most people don't even know what I'm talking about. But I think it's so cool because I read this email and I thought to myself, I'm not jumping in. I'm not going to jump in to this gig because it's a gig. Something's going on, and it's so. Here is what's really incredible. Elon Musk. Here is a guy, Terrence K. Williams, a big-time X star, and he is jumping up and down because he emailed or went out. Whoa, Elon Musk responded to my post about ending BOI rule. The next day, the Treasury Department announced they will not be enforcing fines and penalties associated with BOI. The government is threatening to put people in prison for not filling out the form. Elon Musk is the man. Thank you. So this is what this is. BOI, okay, BOI, please ask Donald Trump to get rid of this ridiculous BOI rule that the Biden created. It's targeting conservatives and small businesses. I just received emails saying I must fill out beneficial ownership information, report every year, or be fined over $591 a day, plus $10K fine and prison time. This cracks me up. All you Democratic people that call Donald Trump a dictator, you're Joe Biden, your dictator. You're a fool. You're a fool as a Democratic person to buy in to the Democratic Party. So here we are. The Treasury Department is announcing today that with respect to the Corporate Transparency Act, not only will not enforce any penalties or fines associated with the beneficial ownership and safe reporting rule under the existing. So they're saying that BS it's over. Here it is, Donald Trump. Exciting news: the Treasury Department has announced that they are suspending all enforcement of the outrageous and invasive beneficial ownership information reporting requirement for U.S. citizens. The Biden rule has been an absolute disaster for small business nationwide. Furthermore, Treasury is now finalizing an emergency regulation to formally suspend this rule for American businesses. The economic menace of the BOI reporting will soon be no more. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you for all these asshats that run their mouth that Donald Trump's the problem. I'm sorry, you're the problem. You support the radical regime under Barack Obama, a.k.a. George Soros. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. Joe Biden doesn't like you. Barack Obama doesn't like you. They want to overthrow this country like never ever seen. If you don't get it, you just don't get it. You need to go to your YouTube channel and your social media and continue to listen to the paid actors. You have no idea how many paid actors are on social media to brainwash you to believe that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris were the answer to this country's future. You're a fool. You're a fool. You really are. So you're reading content from paid actors that push the propaganda like never ever seen. I mean, it happened 100 years ago under Mussolini. Do you know who Mussolini is? If you don't know who Mussolini is, you should do your research to see what he did to his country and drag the mess into them to when to be overthrown by the Nazis and Hitler. And yeah, you should do your research. Eventually, the people tracked his ass down, shot him, publicly hung him and his mistress. So I mean, it gets radical, everybody. But that's the times we live in. We live in an age of social media can be such your friend or such your enemy, and you have to honestly say that in so many ways, social media is your enemy more than ever. It really is. But that's it, everybody. I'm cutting off at that. I'll be very intrigued to watch the State of the Union address. All the Democrats will be sitting there foaming at the mouth to be able to run their mouth after the State of the Union address. Jeffries will be there probably standing up and tinkling on the paper like Dave Chappelle would do. Remember Dave Chappelle? Was that guy funny or what? Yeah, if it was a Dave Chappelle type of sitcom thing redo, he'd show Jeffries going to the bathroom and using the State of the Union to wipe his ass. This is antics that would be on Dave Chappelle's show. If you don't know who Dave Chappelle is, you got to go see that guy. Was he funny as hell? He was funny as hell. Hey, everybody, have a great day. God bless. Stay safe. Stay tuned for more adventures on HHTV.